Why do some factories run like a well oiled machine, hitting their targets, cutting waste, and maximizing profits, while others struggle with delays, rework, and the rising costs? The key lies in the key performance indicators it tracks that reveal how efficiently your factory converts raw materials into profits. In this video, I'll break down the top 15 manufacturing KPIs that every plant manager, FP&A analyst, and operations leaders should track to improve productivity, quality, and cash flow. Manufacturing KPI number one is gross profit margin. This one tells you how profitable your factory is after covering the production costs. It is calculated by subtracting the cost of goods sold from the revenues divided by revenues into 100. A higher gross profit margin means stronger cost control or better pricing power, and both are signs of good operational health. Now, profit margin is great, but how efficient is your overall manufacturing operations? That is where our next KPI comes in. Manufacturing KPI number two is the operating margin. Now, operating margin looks beyond production and includes all the operating expenses. It is calculated as the operating income divided by revenues multiplied by 100. It shows how well your plant converts sales into profits after paying for overheads like labor, maintenance, and administrative expenses. Now, let us go deeper and understand more about raw material costs. Are they as per your budget or are they not? Manufacturing KPI number three is the material cost variance. This compares your actual material cost to what they should have been. It is calculated by subtracting the actual cost from the standard cost and multiplying it by actual quantity. If your material variance is negative, it is a red flag. Maybe there is waste, poor quality, or supplier price hikes. Now, material efficiency is one thing, but what about managing inventory smartly? That brings us to our KPI number four, which is the inventory turnover ratio. This measures how quickly your inventory moves through the system. This is calculated by taking the cost of goods sold and dividing it by average inventory. A high inventory turnover usually means lean operations, but if the inventory turnover is too low, then it might be a case where you are overstocked and your working capital is tied up. Now, next, let us talk about your machinery and are they performing at their best. Manufacturing KPI number five is the overall equipment effectiveness or OEE. Is the holy grail of manufacturing performance. It is calculated as availability into performance into quality. It shows how close your factory is to perfect production with zero downtime, zero defects, and full speed. Speaking of quality, our next KPI reveals how many good products you actually make. KPI number six is the production yield rate. Production yield rate measures the percentage of units produced correctly the first time. This is calculated as good number of units manufactured divided by the total units produced multiplied by 100. The higher the yield, the better your quality control and lower your rework cost. Now, next, let us zoom into the cost per output. Our manufacturing KPI number seven is cost per unit produced. This tracks how much it costs to produce each item. It is calculated as the total manufacturing cost divided by the total units produced. This helps FP&A teams and operations identify the cost drivers and benchmark across the different lines or plants. Costs are important, but so is delivery. Now, let us measure the reliability next. Manufacturing KPI number 8 is the on time delivery rate. This measures how consistently you meet your promised delivery dates. It is calculated as the number of orders delivered on time divided by the total orders into 100. The high on time delivery builds customer trust, and if there is low on time delivery, you can expect lost businesses and penalties. But what's slowing these deliveries down? Let us find out next. Manufacturing KPI number 9 is the order fulfillment cycle time. This tracks how long it takes from the order receipt to the shipment. The cycle time is calculated as the shipment date minus the order date. Reducing the cycle boosts agility and customer satisfaction. Now, next, let us talk about the silent profit killer, which is waste. On a quick side note, if you are serious about growing your career in FP&A, then do check out our certified global FP&A professional program. CGFPA is a 6-month accredited certification in FP&A designed to help you become real business partners. If that sounds something you would be interested in, links are in the description. Also, there are a bunch of free resources that you can download on FP&A, including books and free courses. You will find all the links in the description. Manufacturing KPI number 10 is the scrap and the rework rate. It shows the percentage of defective or wasted products. It is calculated as number of units scrapped divided by the total number of units produced into 100. A high scrap rate usually drains profit and points to process or training issues. Now let us zoom from the production factory to the finance side. Manufacturing KPI number 11 is the cash conversion cycle. Cash conversion cycle shows how long it takes to turn inventory and receivables into cash. The formula is days of inventory outstanding plus days of sales outstanding minus days payable outstanding. The shorter your cash conversion cycle, the healthier your cash flows and more flexible is your business. Now, cash is king, but the energy efficiency can make and break your cost structure. Manufacturing KPI number 12 is the energy cost per unit. Energy cost tracks energy efficiency, which is a big focus in the modern plants. Energy cost per unit is calculated as the total energy cost divided by the number of units produced. Reducing this improves both sustainability and profitability. Now, next, let us take a look at what controls the factory speed. Manufacturing KPI number 13 is the supplier lead time. It measures the time from placing an order to receiving the materials. The lead time is calculated as the delivery date minus the purchase order date. Reliable suppliers means smoother production and fewer stockouts. Our manufacturing KPI number 14 is the first pass yield. It measures the percentage of products that pass the inspection or the quality control the first time. A rising first pass yield means stronger quality and less rework. Now, machines and materials are important, but equally important are the people. That brings us to our final manufacturing KPI number 15, which is the labor productivity rate. It measures how efficiently your workforce is manufacturing the products. Labor productivity is calculated as the total number of units produced divided by the total labor hours. It helps you plan staffing, training, and performance incentives. Every KPI tells a different part of your manufacturing story. When you connect them, the cost, quality, efficiency, and delivery, you get a 360-degree view of your factory's performance. Let us quickly recap. The gross margin and the operating margin shows the profitability. The OEE, yield, and the downtime shows your factory efficiency. The on-time delivery and the cycle time shows reliability. The first pass yield and the scrap rate shows quality. And finally, the cash conversion cycle, the energy rate, and the labor rate shows financial control. If you track them regularly, you will not just make good products, you will master the manufacturing business. For more such FP&A videos, hit that like and subscribe button and let me know in the comments below which other industry KPI you want me to cover in my next videos. Also, don't forget to check a bunch of free FP&A resources, courses, books. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.